This episode is a little bit more of a request rather than showing something off. What you're seeing here is an in-progress version of a title sequence design that I'm working on. I like the old one, but it was a little bit messy, and so I figured I'd try to put something together that gets a few more of the ideas and core concepts of the show across. And I'll be upfront about this. I don't like this. I'm not happy with this yet. And there is stuff that I like, and I ran it by the guys today, and I'll share some of the thoughts there. But I figured I would just also reach out to you, the viewers, and get some thoughts on like what you think is working and not working, and what we're trying to go for. So I'm going to read Gareth's reaction first. Let's see. He says, "Wow, I do like the ink blot effect. Less of the mirrored tower." So I don't know if you can tell, but what I'm sort of messing with here is a illustration or a time-lapse illustration that Gareth had done of the Tower of London, which is central to the story. But you almost can't tell what's going on here yet. I've mirrored it so much, and there's just so much. No, it's a little bit messy, but you can see it. Yeah, right there. Might be able to pick it up right there in the last few seconds of the loop. And it says, to put it another way, I like the first 5 seconds and then the last 10 seconds. The part in between feels a bit slow and isn't as visually appealing to me, and also doesn't do much to support the world being built as we watch idea. Of course, how this flows into the next shot is also an important question. But taking it on its own, that's my reaction on the first couple of views. So yeah, I basically agree with this. I like the attack and I like the denouement, but the center doesn't really hold any weight yet. And also, like, I think that's I don't know. There's some good ideas. So let's take a look as this rolls on through. Just as an overall, there's a nature to the After Effects glow that I'm using that is nice, but what it does to colors, like the way it sort of like puts a real sharp curve on the color crunch, I don't like that very much. And so it has like it gets hyper saturated around the edges. So like I'm a little not psyched with the coloration on it. I might be able to go in and do that later and do a little fine tuning. The mirroring effect I really do like. There's a couple of shows that use something like that now. The opening animation or the opening logos for Amazon's Bosch series, Cop series, it uses live action and it does mirroring really, really, really well. And it's very, very nicely designed. Fits the vibe of the show, and really says something about the show because like it makes the city, makes Los Angeles look that like has realistic elements and has maze-like elements to it, and which is essentially symbolic of the show. So like that's what that's the idea we're trying to get at here is like what do we want to do that gets the center concepts of the show just even hinted at. So what I do like mirroring wise is mirroring the ink blots obviously creates a sort of Rorschach test effect, and which is both sort of a topic. Like, there's two ends of that topic that I like. One is the what does it mean to you angle, and also it sort of hints at the pattern becomes being, in a sense. Like once you start to see something in that kind of pattern, you start to grant it an identity, and that plays into a lot of the sort of the questions that we try to talk about AI and some stuff like that comes up in the show. So I do like that idea, and it also mixes obviously with the fact that Gareth does this beautiful art, and it is also inkblot centric, and watching that liquid spread through the paper is very cool. I love the idea of using Gareth's sort of in progress, time-lapse version of him drawing, which is just fascinating to watch. If you can go back and watch a couple episodes back, maybe like last episode, where you just get to watch him draw for a little while. I think it might be this very drawing, and it's just really, really cool and very sort of soothing to watch this creative event happen. So I want to try and grab some of that. There is an element of the fact that we are like Wisteria as a place. For people who don't know, the idea is that Wisteria is like a popular game in the future, and it's sort of a persistent game world that everyone takes, that you pay to play in, and but it's very, very your experience of it is very, very real, but other people get to watch that experience. And it gets rendered out in a variety of ways, and the way that we are choosing to render it out is as almost a graphic novel, or like like an illustrated book, classic illustrated book kind of look. And we like that because it has to do with storytelling, and we're trying to build metaphors off of that. So incorporating that into this in the opening is pretty important to us. If there's anything that you guys have seen in the animation that we've shown so far that you think would be interesting to mess with, just sort of like, if we do this as a traditional show opener, if we're doing Columbo or whatever from the 70s, like they'd be showing glimpses or messing with that footage from the actual episodes. So maybe we should look at doing that. Anything along those lines. I mean, throw any ideas that you feel comfortable throwing out or throwing over to us, then that would be groovy. And now I'm going to talk about the stuff that I like about this thing. So I do like the opening few seconds when you're watching that grow, that little ink blot grow. It's pretty great. And I feel like we could do a lot more of that and make it a little more abstract. But it needs to start to coalesce into something. And that's where we really need to bring in Gareth's artwork in a really a more clearly defined, straightforward way. Because right here, there's a couple of nice images and a couple of nice patterns, but it's not building on anything until we get to here at the end. And this part I really do like, when the title is very small and it's inside that sort of plant-like burnt-out structure. Like, that's really, really hip to me, and I do want to keep that. So yeah, these are the general thoughts I have watching this thing a million times over and over. And this is an in-progress thing. We have a lot of other stuff to be doing on the show. We had a very positive week of getting our thoughts together on the website, which we have secured, and are going to start putting together and building pretty soon. And that has its own sort of strange interaction and story with it that we're excited to show to you guys. Let's see, the podcast is getting even more legitimate, because now it's like up on like Apple Podcasts and stuff. Like, you can go see it on iTunes, and that's Long Live the Queen, which we are super, super excited about, and we hope that people go and subscribe to. Wes has got some really interesting stuff lined up for that, and the next interview he's going to be doing is going to be totally fascinating. And of course, this is all sort of in fiction stuff, so it's a weird show, but it's very, very cool. And he's going to be covering topics that I'm psyched to just listen to the podcast and see where it goes. But that's also true of the website. We have some good ideas. And what else happened? Oh yeah, I put together a sort of a very short primer on what the project is, and put that together as a pitch doc, as like a PDF that we can hand out to people that want to get involved, and just to give an overview of what we're trying to do with the project. And so I want to also make a little advertisement now to anyone who's watching this, which is like, we are looking to, because this is half animated, half live action. We are looking for actors to come and make some stuff with us. Either it's voice acting or live acting. We don't have any. We'll be straightforward. We don't have any money to do any of this right now, so this is not This is not a gig. This is just making some fun stuff, and making some. I think it's turning in some really beautiful work. And if you're interested in that and you live in Los Angeles, then please come like DM me or write in the comments, and you will like if you want to be in it, you're going to be in it at some point, I promise. So like, hit us up for that. And if you're anywhere else in the country or the world, we can do voice acting stuff, and we will need lots of that. It's not all written, so I can't tell you what we're looking for just yet, but we definitely want to try to get in touch with people now and get the ball rolling as the project gets sort of bigger and starts becoming more complete. My apologies if I'm in a rambling mode right now. You're getting a good snapshot of what my brain does as I work on this stuff, instead of just the regular how-to. And like, I will go through this over and over and over and over and over again and try and tease out the stuff that I like and isolate the stuff that I don't. And with this one, like, there's a lot to like, but I just need a little bit of help. It would be wonderful if anybody has any thoughts or feelings or any suggestions or any other references that they think I should take a look at. It's something we can be doing for quite some time as we iterate through this process. I can tell you one thing I like, just to sum up, I won't keep on jamming on, but like, the thing that I like in title sequences now is interesting graphic design. I think we are at the tail end of the age of like slow spinning shots around delicately sculpted, strange three-dimensional objects and sculptures from the show. And because I mean, those are beautiful. You see them in various Westworld and Black Sails, and like it's a very popular thing to do, and it looks really cool. But when I saw the design for The Great on Hulu, like, I was like, oh, that's it! Like, it's something really sharp and designy and beautiful. And there's an element to that I personally feel about this project is like, in that this is about a sort of VR game experience. The last thing that I, again, personally feel like is the last thing I want to do is just have a standard VR world you step into. Like, everyone's like, that's going to look incredibly dated in a very short period of time. And instead, we want to create artwork and design beautiful artwork. Luckily, that's why we have Gareth Hines, who's phenomenal. But anyway, those are the things I'm pulling from. Please write in the comments, ask us anything you want to ask us, and we're going to keep on working away. Hopefully, we'll be in touch with some actors this week, and the long-promised shooting will be happening soon, and then you'll get actual stuff from set, footage from set, actual honest to God behind the scenes. But for now, this has been Make a Thing, and we hope that you can join us in I don't know, just bopping around some ideas as we make this thing. Let us know what you think down below. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next week.